Perfect. Okay, well, I'm so excited to talk with you all today. Yes, I'm Madeline. I'm a junior here. I've been doing radio for the last couple years, and I love it so much. And one of my favorite parts about this job is that I get to speak with artists who are, going through the cycle of, albums and making art, and I'm loving it. It's been one of the most amazing experiences. And over the past couple years, I've heard a lot about what the album cycle is like and what it's like to put out a new piece of music. So I was kind of hoping you could tell us a little bit about that process for people who don't know what the work that goes behind putting out a record. So I want to hear what that's been like for you guys over the last, I don't know, however long it's been, but it's been a while, I'm sure.
It's been a long time. Yeah, it's an interesting process. I think it was a lot more different for us this last time due to the pandemic. It wasn't as easy to meet up, but therefore it required a lot more structure and planning ahead, sort of blocking off time to sort of get the recording done, things like that. But for me, it feels like it's a slow sort of build up, and then before you know it, it's like you're walking, and then before you know it, you're running, and then you reach the finish line, and it's like, oh wow, okay, so now it's done, and then you kind of start doing it again. That's how I see it. It just ramps up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, this one has been almost a year, right? Did we start jamming in September last year, or was it November?
I think it was September, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's this whole run has been a long time. And yeah, like Papa said, the pandemic really made things tough to meet up and jam together. But yeah, we started jamming with our new keyboardist, Jose Cruz, who was formerly our live sound engineer. And he turned keyboardist with us, and I felt real natural to jam with him. And yeah, we had this Fostex tape machine, and every day we would meet up and try to knock out a song. So we would jam, come up with the song, and then put it on a tape and have a demo on tape. And then Pablo and Luis, our drummer, both got COVID in December, so we stopped meeting up.
No.
Luckily they survived, and they stayed strong. But during that time, Pablo wrote a few songs on his own too. And then our keyboardist Cruz, he ironically at the same time opened up a new studio with his partner Art at True Sound in Inglewood, and it just felt natural to record the album there. It is kind of like a snowball of events, just kind of fell into place, Like Pablo said, we're walking, all of a sudden we're running. Say, oh shit, everything's here. And then in 2 weeks we quarantined in the studio, and we did all the recording in those 2 weeks on a super sleepover 2-week edition.
Yeah, definitely a big sleepover. We had air mattresses all in one room. I think I didn't have one because I thought I would just rough it out. I slept on the couch, and then I drunkenly slept on the floor by accident one time. But yeah, it was funny to see Cruz's room just filled with air mattresses, socks everywhere. It's cool.
That's amazing. You found really some new ways to collaborate and also just kind of still enjoy the process, because I know it can be so stressful. And
yeah, I think it could also just, if you don't make an effort to change things up, it could feel a little bit monotonous. And I think with us having to plan stuff out and do this whole 2-week thing at the studio, it felt very, maybe the way we would have done it when we were younger, when we were kids. So that was kind of exciting to sort of just shake it up. And I think it helped everyone really focus. And I think you can hear that a lot in the album.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool. Because you all have been working together for a really long time too, right? So it might have been, was it in some ways kind of returning to your roots in that way?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. So what are some of the biggest, I guess, influences for the new material? Like, are there connections to your last EP, or does it feel completely new and fresh and like something that you've been that has been kind of in the works for a long time, or is it kind of an extension of what you've been doing before? What are your thoughts?
I think it's pretty fresh. It's like actually right before the pandemic hit, we were releasing our last EP, WID, and we weren't able to tour that EP at all. And that EP is a lot more, I guess, more electronic vibe, you know?
Yeah.
And so we weren't able to tour that. We were pretty like frustrated, blah, 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 you know? Then we allotted some time to start just jamming. And actually, funny enough, like the release date of the album is September 30th, which is like our 15th year anniversary as a band.
Oh,
And that's actually, yeah, that's actually the day that we asked Jose Cruz, our new keyboardist, to join the band. And I think by that time, it only been like maybe a couple jams in, but after that, all the songs just started kind of snowballing. And we really didn't like, I don't think we really sought out for an influence or for a sound or anything. It just kind of all came together really naturally by just having us all together in the room and just doing our thing, you know?
The magic was there.
Yeah, you know, we discovered some magic that, you know, we tapped into, and yeah.
Incredible. I'm so excited to listen to the whole thing. And you also announced recently that you're going to go on tour in 2022, which is very exciting. And you have some upcoming live shows lined up. So what is really exciting you guys about returning to playing live, and especially with, is it the new keyboard? Can you remind me of the new keyboardist's name?
Jose Cruz.
Jose Cruz. Awesome. So especially with Jose on the team now, like what has been really exciting about rediscovering that as a group?
Seeing people's reaction, you know?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Definitely seeing people's reaction, playing the new songs. I think also it's been so long since we've toured. I think now 2 years, going on 2 years, to go back to touring, but doing it in a different way, I guess. I mean, we're all older now and we've done it before, so I think we know what to expect on the road with, you know, like the team we bring, like front of house and all of that. I think, and also having Cruz on board, he's such a technical wizard, and he's done front of house sound for so many bands before. It's kind of like our secret weapon. So I'm looking forward to feeling really prepared, I guess.
That's great. That seems like the way to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, incredible. And I also saw through your social media that you're doing a collaboration with the organization Our Music, My Body for this upcoming tour. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about what that collaboration is going to look like, or about the organization.
Yeah, it's their name is Our Music, My Body, and they're based in Chicago. And what it kind of looks like, we got to meet them on this recent trip we made to Chicago. We played one show at a venue, and we played the Ruido Fest, and we got to meet them and kind of get a glimpse of what things are going to be like at the show. They have a table set up where, you know, they have, you know, information that you could find. They have fun stuff. You can make pins, and they have t-shirts, and, you know, but most importantly, they are trained and also very knowledgeable on, you know, sexual harassment and what's right, what's not, who you could come to talk to. And we actually, before partnering with them, we all took this sort of workshop with them, and it was about like 90 minutes, and we kind of went through all situations, you know, that you would run into at a show, you know. I feel like it's always been a thing at shows and at concerts that, you know, people will be crowd surfing, or you know, people get touchy, or people will be predatory towards younger women at shows, and that, you know, whoever's working at the venue is always so busy, and like they're not really someone that you could go to if an issue comes up. However, now partnering with Our Music My Body, there's literally a station that you can go to, and there are chaperones present, and if there's any type of behavior that's inappropriate, there's resources there, and also they could also teach you, different ways to deal with the situation, you know, more logical ways of doing it that would, make the victim most comfortable. Um, getting their permission to, report to somebody who is trained to deal with it, or, just keep them company, or whatever it is to make everyone feel safe at our shows, because it's been an issue since the beginning of concerts, and it only makes sense to kind of attack the issue at the source, and kind of, lead concerts into a more safe, fun, inviting space. So that's kind of the gist of what's going on.
Yeah, just trying to make it, fun and enjoyable for everyone. And it's been really great. I think the reaction from people has been pretty positive, and I think it's cool, to sort of try to be proactive about it instead of reactionary. So yeah, that's kind of been the game plan. So that's exciting. That's a new part of tour for sure.
That's incredible. Kind of sounds like the future, honestly. Like it sounds like this should be the precedent for,
It very well could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Large scale event planning in general. I do a lot of that, and I think that, things can get away from you because you're focused on 10,000 different things. So by setting the intention of like, here is the space, we've created this space, here are the people you can go to, that's really powerful.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess my last question for all of you today would be, so in Ithaca, there's a pretty big local music scene and a lot of artists, starting out here. And I know that you guys started recording and uploading music to Bandcamp in 2010. And, since then you've gained pretty widespread recognition. You've had albums, you've had tours. What advice do you have for local artists trying to break out into the larger scene, given your experience?
For me, I guess I'd say two things. One of the things that I really appreciate that we did is just trying to, I guess, get out there and play as much if you're able to. We were fortunate enough to have each other, have a band, and be able to play at play any events, and just, for a while we just said that we wouldn't say no to any show. So we just did literally everything. I think that helped out a lot to sort of spread the word, a lot of word of mouth, and also to just get our chops up and really become seasoned performers before we even got any more attention. But I think what we didn't do as much then, which I'm realizing is a big factor now, is just the internet, because I really didn't even have social media until like a couple years ago. And I've seen now that there's people that might have never even played live, but if you have enough of a presence there, then you can have a lot of eyes on you.
Mm-hmm.
So not neglecting that, I think, would be something I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Healthy balance.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Some old advice, some new advice. You got to bring the two worlds together, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. And you can also make I feel like something that we weren't able to do at the beginning of, say, trying to play shows when we were like right out of high school. We weren't really able to play shows, but once we did, I feel like we didn't really have a scene that we belonged to. It just kind of came about between like a friend of ours that happened to go to middle school with us. But I feel like nowadays I've noticed that a lot of other people have just been like a part of this scene and been friends with other people in bands and this and that. And even just online, there's like this internet scene over Instagram, I feel like I don't think it's about creating a scene per se, because I feel like the scene is just the outer perspective of a group of people. but I feel like making friends and knowing that there's a sort of musical community around you is super important, you know, for even just jamming, collaborating on music, finding different sounds, rhythms. I feel like all that plays a part in your whole like musical discovery in your journey as a musician, you know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you know, friends, there's you gotta have them, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard work, right? You need like a support network too, just
Yeah,
regardless
exactly.
of like, you know, having artists to like share the art with, just in general, like people around you, right? Like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Friends are important.
Yeah.
Mutes.
Well, thank you all so much for talking with me today.
Cool.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.